can everyone see my screen as well? If you want to type yes or just reply yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, 1 second.
So Michael, if you want to go ahead and get started, we are ready here, and we're just going to, I guess, meet everyone for now, and just have you go ahead and give your opening remarks.
Okay, Dina, you don't sound very good. I can hear Catherine fine.
How about now?
That's better.
Okay, great.
So I want to welcome everybody. This is Mike O'Brien with WDMA. I apologize for the delay. We're very excited about launching the Workforce Development Pilot with MSSC, and this is an opportunity for everybody to get a little bit more information about the program. And at the conclusion of this program, you'll get the opportunity to decide whether you want to participate in the Minnesota-Wisconsin pilot. And I know some people who aren't in those 2 states are on here just to learn a little bit more about the program, which is great as well. We are recording this. That's correct, Catherine?
Yes, correct.
So you will be able to, hopefully we can chop off the beginning part. Is Leo ready to take over?
Sure.
Catherine, are you going to maximize your screen? Because I see it's not on
Yes.
presentation mode.
Yep.
Okay, so now I want to introduce Leo Reddy, who's the CEO of the Manufacturing Skills Standards Council. Leo?
Michael, thank you for gathering your troops meeting. Since we got a little late start, I'll go first.
Leo, I can't. Can you maybe pick up the phone and talk? Because you sound very garbled.
Is that any better, Michael?
Okay, it's a little bit better.
Still sound a little garbled. How's that?
That's a little bit better.
A little better.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I'll just talk a little bit louder.
Okay.
Sorry, we lost a little time here, but I'm going to assume that most of you heard something about MSSC before, so we'll go very quickly through the MSSC part and go right to the details on the pilot that we've been talking about for some time with WDMA. But just very quickly on MSSC, we won a competition back in 1997, 1998 under the National Skills Standards Act. The whole idea of the act was to have all sectors of the economy, including manufacturing, define their skill needs, industry-wide skill needs for frontline work across all industry sectors. So we won that competition, and we had a huge turnout for that activity. As you'll see from the final bullet, there had over 700 companies, 4,000 workers, about $9 to $10 million in public expense to build the standards. You can see the current edition of the standards right on the MSSC website. We update them every year with industry subject matter experts to make sure that they are current with best practice in industry. And those standards are the foundation for our entire program of training and certification, and still remain the gold standard. I think the fact that we cover it's really for the entry level worker for all sections, all sectors of manufacturing. So our whole effort here is to provide a rock solid foundation really for your job applicants. We try to make sure that people have a very good understanding of the core competencies of manufacturing production. And on the basis of that, we think we provide a very strong foundation upon which you can build. People can go on and get other certifications, other training, but that's our whole effort. is to keep those standards up to date so we have a very solid foundation for the American industrial workforce. We work very hard at that, and we still involve hundreds of companies and the whole country basically in this effort. As you see here, we're really the only national certifying body that's accredited by ANSI. There's an ISO standard for personnel certification called 17024. We have that for both manufacturing and for logistics. And that, of course, requires a very rigorous auditing all the requirements involved in ANSI. So we do think we are the gold standard for the country in this particular area. We've been partnering with many federal agencies in doing this. If you're familiar with the NAM skills certification system, we're at the foundation of that system upon which you can build other credentials like NIMS. I'm sure some of you are familiar with NIMS, American Wellness Society, and others. At present, I think we can say we've become an American institution at this point. We've got over 1,650 MSSC trained teachers, about 950 assessment sites. By August, we will have delivered 100,000 assessments, and we're in 49 states. You can see here the top states, which begin with Indiana, and Wisconsin has been one of our lead states for a long time. I don't quite see Minnesota there yet, but hopefully we'll get there thanks to the help of the manufacturers. That's just a little background on MSSC itself. I think you're all familiar with the skills gap. This is a kind of a favorite slide that we are using, NAM using, everybody's using. It's basically saying that we have to fill about 3.4 million jobs in manufacturing over the next 10 years, 9 or 10 years. We have a pretty good idea how we're going to fill about 1.4 of them. We don't have a very good idea how we're going to fill the other 2 million. We have a lot of people retiring. The school system is still very weak in providing us future pipeline. So this is how the manufacturing sector we define the skills gap. Our effort and the whole foundation of our effort is to teach people these core technical competencies so we have an agile knowledge workforce able to keep pace with technological change. So it's really kind of a next generation worker that over a career will work in all kinds of different production occupations, learning a wide variety of tasks and functions to keep pace with technology. That's really the kind of the hallmark of MSSC. We organize production. This goes way back to our original standards around the core, the critical functions of safety, quality practices and measurement. You'll see manufacturing processes and production, maintenance, awareness. We use the word awareness because we're not really training maintenance specialists, but production workers who know a good deal about maintenance and can help with preventive maintenance and assist people who are specialists. And we've added a green production module as well a few years ago. But basically to secure the way our system works is people get trained and they get tested, about a 90-minute test on each of these modules. And for each one, they get an MSSC industry recognized nationally portable credential, a certificate. They have to pass the first 4 to get a full certified production technician certification. Green is newer, so we don't require green to get that certification, but we do offer it. Can we go to the next slide? Somebody's not advancing. Just a second. Somebody's why it's not moving forward. Trying to move to the next slide here. There we go. Okay. Anyway.
There we go.
Okay. Anyway, some of the advantages of this. One of the things we've noticed, and we validate through our regular surveys, twice a year, we survey roughly 600 participants. We get them to fill out the survey. And one of these findings we thought you'd find interesting, namely how they perceive the value of the certification themselves. We see this does have a very favorable impact on their view. And we think this does result in more motivated workers. We document a lower turnover rate. And I think people feel very proud to be recognized with an MSSC certification. And that recognition factor is a very powerful motivator for people. And we think that's worth showing. We think the benefits to employers from this program are pretty obvious. We hope to have a strong pipeline of skilled workers. I should add here that we really are a pipeline organization. Most of our business comes from high schools, community colleges, workforce investment boards. We are at the base of the pyramid. We're really trying to give people their first introduction to the worlds of advanced manufacturing and also logistics. And that's really where we fit in the scheme. It definitely reduces recruitment costs. We model ourselves on ASE, Automotive Service Excellence. If you run an automotive repair shop, recruitment costs are very little because you can tell by credentials what people know and how prepared they are to perform different tasks. So it already builds in a lot of the factors that you can take into account in your hiring. We do require that people have at least 9th grade math and 10th grade English. So we tend to eliminate remedial training costs, again, on the attraction and motivation of workers. And again, the main signature of MSSC is the fact that we focus on advanced technologies and trying to develop agile workers. So that's kind of background on MSSC. The pilot is to enable your industry, to document how successful the MSSC CPT program is for you. It will target WDMA members in Minnesota and Wisconsin. We can add other states later if it works out well in your states. And one of the starting points here is that to pilot the commencement, WDMA members will have an opportunity to review the standards and to determine their interest in participating. And another factor, MSSC is covering the costs for the pilot, and the costs are fairly considerable. They involve the courses, the online delivery of those courses, instructor training, assessments, registration, credentialing, and so forth, to give you an opportunity to evaluate MSSC. Here are our responsibilities in organizing this pilot, and we draw upon our large infrastructure that I mentioned before of MSSC trained instructors and MSSC authorized test sites to locate the instructors and training centers where the pilot will take place. And if they're not available in your immediate area near your facilities, we can talk about qualifying the training facilities. Are almost all community and technical colleges in your area. Maybe some advanced tech centers possibly, but they're mostly all senior colleges that we're talking about. And the pilot is to do 40 students per state. That's the basic design of it. Now, in terms of your responsibilities, the one that we have two options here. One, which is clearly the strongest one, is that some of you have job openings, that you will hire the CPT candidates if they've finished the full CPT, all 4 modules, and if you will, on a probationary period of 60-90 days, so you have time to evaluate them. And obviously that option has a lot of advantages. If you're willing to hire people, even on a probationary basis, you will attract stronger applicants, and also give you an opportunity to determine the ROI within your own facilities. You can't really do an ROI measurement if you don't have people on board during that 60-90-day period. But you also have the option to agree to interview grantees or people who are certificates and consider them for potential hire. That's another obligation. When you sign up for this, you have to indicate whether you want to try option 1 or option 2, and you have to designate, of course, a company person to coordinate the pilot with us and the educators and so forth. So then we're very, very interested, of course, in the ROI, which you're interested in as well. So to determine ROI, we're going to leave that to you. As you'll see in the presentation here, we're including different kinds of ROI metrics that the companies really should use the metrics they already use in terms of evaluating their employees. As you'll see, there are different areas here to do that. People having a hard time hearing? Michael, can you hear?
Well, there was a beeping going on. There's still going on a beeping sound.
There's a lot of beeping going on, so I just want to make sure people are still hearing me. Is it
Looks like
okay?
it's gone now. Yeah,
Is it okay?
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what I'm
these are just samples. We're not asking, we're not enforcing any particular metric. We just want you to use the metrics that you already have. For example, a lot of companies do keep individual metrics on things like teamwork, attendance, turnover, abusing leave policies, that sort of thing for individuals. Some collect data on what we measure, like safety, quality, production, maintenance. Is an overall performance of what we're looking for is MSSC CPT against non-CPT trained workers and so forth. You can pick your own metrics, but it would be good if you could pick 1, 2, or 3 of those that you could against which you could measure CPT workers against non-CPT workers. And we'd like to collect those data within 3 months of their arrival on your premises to give us all an ROI picture. So again, in terms of next steps, if you're interested in participating, please provide a point of contact to Michael at Michael's address, which I'm sure you all have. And we will include you in the marketing materials that we're going to be sending out to the collaborating institutions around in Wisconsin and Minnesota. If we have a press release, we would like to be able to identify you folks on that. Then we'll coordinate with your point of contact in the various organizations to make this thing work. So we're hoping the outcomes will, of course, so we're really looking for is to help you in both those states and then beyond your whole membership to have a durable, robust pipeline of job applicants who have the CPT credential based on the standards that you have reviewed, that we will move into a cooperation agreement between us to make sure we're maintaining our relationship with you and keep promoting this activity for WD members eventually across the entire country. So we're taking into account all your members and your suppliers. We're hoping that you will bring your suppliers into this picture as well. A good way to improve supplier quality is to ensure your suppliers have a highly qualified workforce as well. And we have to build community partnerships to make this really work in a robust way. We need to involve various organizations, state agencies, different schools, and so forth. And in any case, those are the benefits that we're trying to come out with everybody. Do we have a final slide there? And I know that our executive director, Neil, has been working with Mike for quite a while, and he'll be our main person supervising this project to make sure it turns out well. So in a nutshell, that's the idea behind this. Just to conclude, MSSC is the #1 certification body in the country for frontline work and production, and we have a lot of resources and experience that would be at your disposal.
Yep, and now I think we'll unmute everybody and kind of do a question and answer session.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. Yep, so now everyone's unmuted.
You're unmuted if you have any questions or comments.
And if anybody, before we ask your question, you just say identify yourself and your company, that would be great.
Mike, it's Joe Hayden from Pella. Just quickly, will this presentation be made available to the attendees? We can take this to other folks in our company to show?
Absolutely.
We'll have both, you know, just the PowerPoint as well as a recorded version.
Okay, thank you.
We'll Boy, you guys are quiet. No questions?
Peggy Anderholm at Marvin Windows.
Hi, Peggy.
Hi. Would there be a list of where the assessment centers are in the schools that you work with?
Sure, we can provide that for both states.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Leo, what is the, you know, if there's not a, you know, if somebody wants to participate but you don't have an assessment center particularly close by, what is the general plan there? What happens?
Well, the general plan is this: since we're funding this pilot, we would undertake the cost of qualifying. And if you identify a school, preferably a community technical college, we will provide them with the training, so at least one of their instructors is trained as a qualified CPT instructor, and they will have a test site there as well, and will be able to deliver the courses. But we'll take care of that. So we will basically create a center for you near your facility.
Terrific.
And we'll pay for that.
And this is Peggy.
It would be very influenced if you choose option one. If you agree to hire these people on probation. And
Great. Peggy, you had another follow-up?
So if you didn't, so this is for like new entrants into the workforce, would you consider doing it for incumbents that are hired?
Yeah, sure. We do have some companies that we love to give the training to incumbents. It's just that the whole thing is focused on entry level. But we have our standards are created a strong benchmark for companies. You want to bench yourself against, you want to benchmark your current workforce against national standards. We do a very good job at that. And if you have 10 workers or more participating, we have a diagnostic tool we can use that shows where that workforce stands on each of the key activities in our standards, how you compare against the national workforce.
So if you do have anybody on the call, you know, if you do have incumbents that you would be interested in having go through the program, when you follow up with me, let me know that.
Yes, and incumbents, we can also, in a lot of the community colleges, also deliver the training on site. We'll have a community college instructor will come to your site, your training center. You don't necessarily have to send people to the community college. Also, you can take they can take some of the stuff online. We have fast track courses for incumbents. We have a lot of good options for incumbents. We just don't have too much demand for incumbent training. We'd be happy to accommodate that as well.
Do we have any other questions?
So again, if you're interested, you should get back to Michael, let him know, and we'll proceed with the pilot. And it can be convenient to you.
I will, like I said, we're going to have a recording available. It might be, you know, in a day or so, but I will go ahead and, in the meantime, send a copy of this presentation out again. I'll also include sort of the background of the pilot that I sent out originally, as well as the actual standards. So I want to make sure everybody has that so they can make an informed decision. So, you know, between now and the end of the month, you know, if you have more questions that come up, please reach out to me, call me or email me with the question, and we'll try and get that taken care of as quickly as possible. So we really appreciate you taking the time to participate today, and hope that as many of you as possible are able to participate. So I want to thank everybody. And Leo, do you have any final comments?
No, we look forward to this. We're very excited by it and hope that folks are interested.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, everybody, and have a great Monday.